Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today for Sourcing Adda webinar. I am Ashwani and I'm part of Sourcing Adda team. Those who don't know about the Sourcing Adda is a platform for recruiters and sourcers to come together and discuss and share thoughts and about the recruitment and sourcing. In Sourcing Adda, we have few activities which we cover throughout the month. That is Twitch chat on Twitter, which take place every first Wednesday of the month, and webinars, hangouts, and meetup that we are going to have next month on 17th of October. And also we have WhatsApp group as for the regions. We recently shifted from WhatsApp to Hive as we can add more members on the group. We also conduct sourcing contest. We recently had SPL, and we are also planning a big sourcing contest moving forward. So moving to the today's topic. Today's topic is how recruiters craft engaging personal brand on social media. So for this topic, we have an expert speaker here. She's Pradna Kakade, digital and social media specialist. She's also co-founder of Blink Strategy Solutions. She will be speaking on today's topic. Okay, Pradna, over to you.
Thanks, Ashwani, for a quick introduction, and I'm pleased to be invited by Sourcing Adda to share the thoughts and opinions on the topic that has always been of an interest to me. So, hi everybody, and firstly I would like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join me. I hope the discussion gets going and it turns out to be an interactive webinar. A little brief of myself is I have about 10 years of experience in handling branding and communication functions with some leading corporates. I am currently co-founding, or I kind of co-run a company called Blink Strategic Solutions that majorly offers corporate training, and we have recently started social media consultancy. So I consult companies on developing their employer and talent brand. I have a master's degree in marketing and human resource and a Google certified professional. So let's begin with today's session. What I'm going to do is talk more about what personal branding means and what personal branding basically means for an individual, and from a recruiter's perspective, what approach one can take to enhance one's personal brand on social media. Before we start, it's what is personal branding? So let me just put it very simple that personal branding is something, it's very little to do what you think about yourself, and it's more about how people see you, how they describe you. So it's a kind of set of values and characteristics that describes you, and some guiding choices that you have enhanced in your work and your life. So this makes your personal brand you. Let's look at this slide. So what do these people have in common? So when I say look at each one of them, each one have differentiated themselves. Each one of has a specialization. They have the identities, and more or less they are a brand in themselves. So for example, let's take Amitabh Bachchan for example. I would like you all to use your chat box here and put up some attributes or an adjective that come to your mind when you think of Amitabh Bachchan. So can I ask you all to use your chat here and put up the adjectives that you all feel about Amitabh Bachchan? Some say that he is having a good acting skills. So when I sum it up, one can say that Amitabh Bachchan is got superior acting skills. He has a personality. He gives us a confidence, and he is an influencer. So these kind of attributes, it's what he has developed an aura around himself, and we come up with these kind of adjectives when we think about Amitabh Bachchan. So each one of in the on the screen and many more such personalities have developed such specialization, and now today we call them as a brand. Now I would like to ask you, what is your personal brand? So before we go further, I would like to launch a poll here. The poll says that how often as a talent acquisition professional you have been consciously working on building your personal brand. So whether it's been regularly and consciously you've been doing with a plan, whether it's sometimes as and when required, if you feel that there's need for you to showcase your abilities, to showcase your accomplishment, at that time you use your personal brand, or you have not much thought about it, and this particular personal branding is not much thought about topic, and you just have your social profiles in place wherein you look out for candidates and their profiles. So I would like to understand which category most of us fall into. So we have a good 36 number of people here who say that sometimes they use a personal branding as and when required. So that is fairly a good number of people who are doing that regularly and consciously. So we need to really applaud this set of people who are conscious about their personal brand, and those who are not much thinking about it. I'm sure that by the end of this webinar you might start developing or building your personal brand consciously. So as I see this, so personal branding plays a very vital role with people, and recruitment is all about understanding, dealing, communicating, influencing, persuading your prospects to consider the career advancement opportunities that you have for them. So what is a personal brand? So if people like you, they are kind of going to listen to you. But if they trust you, believe me, they are going to do business with you. So there are many factors that persuades a candidate to apply for a job opening. So here it's this candidate out here. So any candidate who looks out for a job opportunity that you have for them, they would certainly look at the company brand that you represent, the kind of reputation that brand has, the career growth opportunity and the prospects that you have, the career growth opportunities and the prospect that you bring, not just during change of the career but also in the subsequent years that he'll be associated with your organization. The salary plays an important role. Work culture, the work environment, the management plays another important factor for a candidate to consider your job opening. Employee reference and word of mouth plays a real important role. So all these things come together, and it doesn't form a company. People give this experience to the candidate so that he considers a particular job or not. So as a recruiter, personal brand works in conjunction with the company's employer brand. So wherein you create a package that will excite the audience. So what I meant here was all these things bring together an experience to a candidate. So as a talent acquisition professional, it becomes really necessary for you to work on building your personal brand and be an influencer. Now what makes your brand? So your brand is made up of your life experiences. Your childhood here plays a very important role. The society, the culture that you have been brought up, education of course plays a vital role, and the career that you choose. All this builds up to your life experience. In the process you build your opinions about something that is right, your values are built, and that significantly contributes to how you behave and how you act in a particular situation. So while all this is happening, people are observing you, they're observing your behavior, they start developing the perception about you, and gradually your default brand gets formed, it's created. So this is what I say: when you have a brand, whether you are aware of it or not, So, for example, when your colleague passes a corridor and immediately you tell the other person that, this person is humble, or this person has an attitude, or he is a tech savvy guy. So these kinds of adjectives get associated with a particular person based on their actions and behavior and your experience in the process. So as recruiters, when you start connecting to a candidate over a phone or you email them, so through various touch points, you are forming an opinion about a candidate. You are analyzing that particular candidate. So how they speak to you over the phone, how they respond to you on an email, when you visit their social profiles, you probably see the connections they have, the influencers they follow, the companies they follow, what kind of TV shows they follow, celebrities, what is their interest. So when you are visiting a candidate's profile and you are analyzing the social profile, so that's all these things sums up and you form a default brand about that particular person. So same is happening with you when you interact with your candidate. The moment you connect with them, there is a high possibility that they visit your social profile. The moment you interact with them over a phone, they already had formed some kind of perception about you. So scientists say that in one's lifetime, we influence at least 60 per thousand people, and over 95% of it is done unconsciously. So here we all have a brand, whether you are aware of it or not. Now the question one need to ask ourselves is, am I consciously building my personal brand? So consciously building a recognizable personal brand opens up professional opportunities. So call it whatever you did like to, whether it is a reputation, image, personal brand, they all mean the same thing. They all describe what you bring to the table professionally. Without that personal branding, you risk being just another face in the crowd. Now, when was the last time you Googled yourself? So at this point of time, I would request Ashwini to launch a poll here. So this poll is basically because I like to understand, or we all would like to understand that what is it like, we all search for people whom we are interacting, or the candidates that we are searching for. So we all Google for their social profiles, but how often do we Google ourselves?
People say frequently one in a month, 33%, okay, and occasionally 1 in 3 months, 40%, rarely 1 in 6 months or more, 20%, never 7%.
Alright, so what I would like to put a point here is, if you're not Googling yourself and you don't know what comes up, you are not managing your personal brand. So if you are not doing your prospects, your company, your prospects hire must certainly have Googled you. So you need to be thinking about how you come across and what people find and come across while they search you. As recruitment is all about people and people hiring people, you need to be consciously thinking about how you would like to be visible for the opportunities and influence your audience. Personal branding on social media is all about making life easier and work smarter and work harder. With this, if I Google myself and I understand that, if in first few results, if my image is there, which of my social media pages are more active, those will be higher, those will come in first two searches. Which other forums or which other platform, when I type in, my name comes up. So that gives me kind of a confidence, or that gives me a kind of thinking that what I need to be do more so that I am visible, my personal brand is visible on social media. Now people buy people, and if someone doesn't like me, they are not going to recruit me. And the same is other way true. If you are not going to like or trust, if someone is not going to like or trust you as a recruiter, if they don't find that empathy or that association with you as a recruiter, they are not going to deal with you. Remember, it's not the company that they are speaking to, it's you who they are speaking to, and you are the person who gives them that experience, that empathy, that confidence to be associated with your company and to consider the career advancement opportunity that you have for them. So your personal brand should define who you are as a person and showcase how that impacts you as a recruiter. So this means that you establish your values, skills, and this is what separates you from other recruiters. So what you are doing in the process, you are placing a welcome mat outside your brand for the candidates to come and interact with you. So leverage the social media tools rightly and recognize the importance of having an effective online personal brand, and that will certainly help you in climbing the top recruiter space. The question here is distinct or extinct. Ask yourself, is my brand distinct or extinct? It doesn't matter what role you play as a talent acquisition professional. So you could be into a lateral hiring, you could be an executive recruiter, leadership hiring role, a technology recruiter, social recruiter. So what matters is the value you bring to your audience, to your candidates, and to your employees. Let me put an example here. You think that once you're thinking that it's a time for you to consciously build your personal brand, and I'm again and again using the term consciously because that is how something that you want others to be known as. So you think that as a recruiter you want to be known as a passionate recruiter who gets the right match for the company. You want people to trust you, trust your profession, trust that you will be offering them the best career opportunity. You want people to consider you, for example, a good communicator, a communicator who doesn't leave the candidate in ambiguity, who transparently communicates whether they are selected and where is the interview process and what stage the candidate is today. And that is what makes you reliable. So this is what you think that probably you want to be known as a recruiter. Now here you would like to understand that what specialization you bring in through so that you can be associated with these terms. What is that particular thing? What is your niche that you need to position yourself? And what value does that specialization brings to your candidate? So the beauty of social media is that it gives us an equal opportunity to position ourselves, and it's up to us how we choose to build our online brand. On social media, you are most likely to be noticed the more niche you are. So you really need to be thinking about your specialization, and you can strike a more genuine relationship and engagement if you don't like to be all things to all people. So you really need to think about what specialization you have and how important that specialization is for your audience. So when I start about a strategic approach as a recruiter, what you need to be doing. So you should be start first doing a research. So personal branding is all about understanding what others think about you and what you want them to think about you. So it's all about, so social media plays a really amazing role in building your personal brand. It makes it easy for you to reach out to your target audience. So here what one can do is you need to identify some distinct adjectives, words, attributes that you think your colleagues, managers, your recent recruits, your mentors think about you and your brand, think about you and your work. So go back to about 4 to 5 people and ask them for those distinct adjectives, attributes or words that come to their mind when they think about you and your work. At the same time, revisit your performance appraisal sheets, your testimonials, other feedbacks, your accomplishment, and get those words out there. Once you are done with what others think about you, what you need to do is self-cues. So by self-cues, what I mean, it's asking yourself, questioning yourself. So is there anything that others missed, and is there anything that surprised me in the process? So for example, you must be thinking that you have been a good communicator as a recruiter, but none of the people that you went to came up were even close to that particular attribute, or they even considered you to be a good communicator. So why did this particular thing happen? So you need to start thinking about it. You need to start thinking like, were you aware of your personal brand? And if this is what people think about me, do I like it? And in case I want to change the way I am seeing, the way I am presenting myself now, and if I change it, what kind of opportunities that opens, and what closes for me, what kind of opportunities closes for me. So when you start consciously building your personal brand, it's more about self-awareness, is more about reaching out to people and asking them the feedback as to what they think about you. So this basically will kind of unfold opportunities for you. This is a very personal self assessment that one needs to be doing. The second thing on social media is, of course, one's profile picture. This profile picture should be given an utmost importance and care. So you need to give life to your profile picture. It should be genuine, and it should talk a lot about you and your personality. Your profile picture makes your brand unique, and it gives a personal touch. Also remember that people buy people, and as a profile picture, your profile picture as a recruiter should communicate you as a friendly, trustworthy, likable person, and these kind of attributes are crucial in getting your prospects to engage with you. Another thing one should consider while putting up your profile picture, that the 60% of the frame should consist of your face. So your face should be visible, clear to the people. Having a brief smile, that kind of adds up to the beauty. Keeping the background clean without any distractions. And remember that the first thing one should register when they look at your profile picture is you and your face. And try keeping the same profile picture on most of the professional social network. So this kind of builds and registers your personal your professional your look and feel on other websites as well. Going further, describe yourself. Now, social media gives each one of us an opportunity to describe oneself the way we want. So this particular thing, according to me, happens in three ways. Choose an impactful headline. So your brand should speak about the niche, your specialization. It should focus on what is the impact that you strive as a professional, and it should be real short and catchy, and make an interesting beginning, make an interesting introduction. So before you even begin writing your social profile, remember that it's about your personal professional profile, and it's not about your company. Make it your profile, make it talk about yourself, and don't rave too much about the company. And you should be talking very briefly about you and your profession and the company that you represent. So this is the stages that one must consider while writing one's social profile. As recruiter, let people know who you are, what professional value you bring to the table. Talk about your accomplishment, talk about your recruitment success stories and the impact it has brought to your organization. In short, just tell people why they should connect with you. All these things is something like having an impactful headline and interesting beginning is something that you are telling about yourself, and everything now should be backed up by an evidence. So with this, what I mean is the testimonials, the third party endorsement, and your other credentials will complement what you say. So say for example, you have been in a particular role for quite some time, and you have taken quite some accomplishments. So just try putting that on the social profile. Get your recent hires, get your past hires, speak about the experience they had, or the experience you brought to them as a recruiter. Create a short case study, or you can have a quick short video about the new hire and the experience that the person had interacting with you during the recruitment process. So these kind of short storytelling, you need to be a good storyteller if you need to build your personal brand. So these kind of short stories, interesting creative story, you need to think about and back it up by an evidence. Taking this third party endorsement really makes your profile look genuine. And at least it's recommended that you can have testimonials, which LinkedIn and other sites do offer. So these kind of makes your profile looks complete and makes your personal brand even more enhanced. Personalize your outreach. Now that you have identified your personal attributes, brand attributes, you know what is your niche, what is your specialization, how you want people to look at you. The next is to personalize your approach. And when it comes to social media and building your personal brand, it's less about what's in it for me and more about what's in it for them. So treat your candidate as your affiliate clients and take them through that enriched customer experience for which they would remember you for the lifetime. As a recruiter, your job is to find a suitable candidate and ensure the position is filled. It is as simple as that. But in the process, you need to be creative, differentiate yourself, offer something better which will differentiate you from other recruiters. So how do you do that? First invest time in researching your prospect. This will give you lots of confidence before you contact them. You will know a lot about them, and this will help you to personalize and customize your outreach, and that is what will differentiate you from the rest. So whenever I get a personalized email or any one of us gets a personalized treatment, we are very happy about it and we keep that memory throughout our life. So give that experience to the prospects that they are looking for. Just customize your approach. This personalized approach gives a better response for the candidate, be it through an email, telephone, or in-person experience, and it will be enriching and cherished by the candidate. And this thing is going to go a long way. The next thing that I would like to speak about is strategizing your content. Now, social media is all about content, and if one is not communicating, interacting, writing content on social media, I think one should not be using social media. So, but again, we need to think how much of it that we need to do. So focus on quality and not quantity. There is no point constantly posting news feeds that makes less sense to the audience. Social media is all about starting conversations and capturing people interest, initiating engagement, and in the process it builds perception. So you need to be strategizing your content, what kind of blog post you need to share. So also you need to think that it's always not necessary that you need to post original content. You can post shareable content also. So sharing people's content, being a part of a discussion would also add value to your audience. So there are various articles or trends that you may come across on different forums and you think that it could add value to your community. So what you could do is quickly make some infographics out of it, or you can compile some stats around the topic that you have read. And this is like easy when you are reading something, and you can always give credit to the article that you are publishing this infographics from, and that would make sense to your audience as well. So it's important to understand what you publish in the public domain. Irrelevant post gets annoying and people will start spamming and ignoring such posts. So I would recommend that how you would strategize your content. So you should be posting your personal content, some part of it professional content, and some part of it to a rapport building. So strategizing your content in a balanced way. So when I speak about personal content, so what does it mean? That occasional greetings to your followers. Say now Diwali is approaching or any new year will approach. So these kind of occasional greetings to your audience. If you are out on a vacation and visiting some Everest base camp, publishing photos about that particular trip, but remember, don't overdo it. Don't put every hourly post that now you're having dinner, now you are taking a spa, now you're here. So all these things will eventually not, people will start spamming it after a period if you're overdoing it. But at the same time, you need to subtly keep people posted about your interest, about the reviews and experiences that you had by visiting a particular location or a movie review. So this kind of generalizes you as a person. When it comes to professional post, so of course your professional certification, the training and development activities that just happened and the training programs that you have undergone, the recent events that you have participated should also be a part of the professional post. Job openings, yes, as a recruiter, I'm sure each one of us must be putting up the job openings. But at the same time, you also need to publish the positions closed. So today, for example, you publish that you need a Java developer, and 2 weeks later you close the position. So just go ahead and put that particular position online and tell that this position has been closed, and today I have on board, this is a new recruit who is a part of your company. So welcome that person. In that case, people will try and analyze you. They'll also understand that you are not just the one who is publishing random job openings, but who is serious about your particular role, and who is seriously closing the position. As I said earlier, you can share others' content and research report. So that adds value to you as a professional and to your audience. Building rapport is very simple. On LinkedIn, Facebook, and these kind of forums and many others, we often see who has a new job, the promotions they had, work anniversary. So just go ahead. It doesn't take time. It's just a click that you have to just say congrats. And so, but while doing so, if you could personalize that particular message, will again be quite impactful. So personalize these, use this tool that this social media has, personalize your approach that we just spoke about, and congratulate them for their birthday, congratulate them, wish them on the birthday wishes, professional achievements, congratulate them on that, share their content, comment on their content, like their content. So this will kind of build, and it will keep you netted with your audience, it will keep you netted with your professional circle, with your prospect candidate. And lastly, I would like to talk about the qualitative approach. So I feel that social media is, we need to be we should be having a qualitative approach. With this, I mean on three aspects. One is the number of people you follow. Two, the time you spend on social media. And three, the content you publish. So it doesn't excite me to have about 10,000 followers. What's important is reaching to your set of people and your audience. Don't lay, do lay some foundations in place. It allows you to be focused. It gives you a purpose, and it gives purpose for your prospect candidates to follow you. Now, why is strategy and getting focused and thorough planning is important when it comes to social media? Social media is a platform where one can be interacting, communicating, publishing content, tweeting the whole day. So, and if you keep on doing that, I'm sure one day your management is going to come back and ask you, when are you doing the work? So organizing your social media time is really important. Social media can really take your life, and you need to think how you need to manage your social profile, how you need to manage your online time. So you just can't afford to be there all the time, or you just can't afford to be just not be there at all. So both the things to the extreme are not good to build your personal brand. You need to balance it out. And lastly, about the content, so you need to be focused, what's relevant, and that must articulate your story. It gives focus, the focus and the approach to reach your community at the same time. the job responsibility, how responsible you are as an individual, how responsible you are as an recruiter, as a professional. So this is what all that I have to say about building your personal brand on social media. And lastly, I would like to close this by saying that everything you post on social media impacts your personal brand. How do you want to be known as? It is something that you need to think about. Thank you all.
Thank you, Pradnya. Thank you for the great session.
Thanks, Ashwani.
Yeah. Now we'll have a quick question and answer session. If anyone has any question, you can put it on chat box, or you can also ask us on Twitter using our Twitter handle @sourcingadda. Here we got our first question from Manish Pipalwa. He says, if we have some negative info on Google, how do we deal with it?
So negative in terms of your personal brand, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now it's nothing about being negative, because see, you need to instantly deal with it. Now how would a negative feedback come? Probably if you have posted something, at that point of time someone will probably like it or not like that particular post that you have done. So you need to rationalize your content, or you need to rationalize, suppose you come across some negative feedback on some community where someone is saying that this person is has shared this content and they don't agree with you. So I don't think so there's going to be anything negative about as a person. It's going to be a comment whether they agree to your thoughts or they don't agree to your thoughts. So you need to rationalize your content, or you need to rationalize your thing, that why you whatever you spoke about or whatever you think about is something that you felt because of XYZ scenario. And in case that doesn't happen, then probably you can connect to that person, that particular person in person. You can always email them and ask them for a feedback that they have said so and so about you and why was it. And you can sort it out offline, like through email or something like that.
Okay. We have one more question, Pradnya. That is from Amit Patel. What is the best way to attract talent through social media?
Yes, so the presentation in fact had been about how to uh, build your personal brand. So attracting talent is eventually, so building your, you are the first point of contact that who represents your company, who represents the outside world, the talent, the candidate. So you need to be confident. You as an individual, as a personal, need to be confident about your, the position that you're offering. As I said, you need to personalize your communication so that the candidate thinks that you are a genuine person. In fact, throughout the presentation, I have been speaking about how to personalize your approach, and consciously doing that will eventually help you in attracting the good number of candidates. So it's about all about what kind of experience they have when they speak to you the first time, and what kind of information you share with them, how you deal with them. So it's all about the personal approach, the personal strategy that you use in dealing with people.
Okay. Uh, Pradnya, I will have last question, and this is from Komi Ramesh. Is it worth to share the experience from the candidates to write on your profile?
You mean the testimonials part or the story part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if let me put it this way, in my earlier slides when I said that you need to back it up by an evidence, yes, it's certainly right. See, you of course there are certain parameters wherein you will be requiring some kind of permissions from your organization to do so. So with this is something that I thought that you can beautify your story. So, or else you can simply say that this position was open, and I have closed this position and I have recruited about 30 Java profiles have been closed, and today we have 30 people on board. So you can generalize your statement, one, by saying that the position has been closed, and second, with prior permission of the new hire, with prior permission of your organization, if you can build a story around the way the recruitment process went. And I'm sure nowadays organizations are pretty open, and they are quite and these kind of activities should be acceptable because organizations are all there on social media, on the digital platform. So it shouldn't be much of the problem in today's age. So it's just that you need to think about the innovative, how creatively you can put up your story, and I'm sure that you will be able to do that with your organization's support, of course.
Okay. Uh, Pradnya, we have one last question. Uh,
Yes,
that
Ashwini.
is from Mrinal Majumdar. Do you recommend to create separate profiles for personal and professional contacts, especially in Facebook?
See, basically now there, it's like it shouldn't be a separate profile per se, but you need to be, when it comes to Facebook and LinkedIn, we treat both the networks really differently. Now, when we have a personal, Facebook is really personal, wherein we put lots of selfies, we put pout faces with us, pout faces with our friends, with our spouse, we have our kids out there. So it's nothing bad, or it's nothing to do with your professional over there per se. But at the same time, I think it shouldn't harm your brand. So you shouldn't, what you shouldn't do on personal profile is you shouldn't get into any arguments, is that you shouldn't tarnish your online brand. You shouldn't get into any political, politically incorrect situations are there, or any racism things are there. So you shouldn't be commenting on them, or you shouldn't be too active on these kinds of forum. So you need to subtly just be as you are. Like you just can't fake what you are on social media, and if you try to fake yourself, that's going to topple your personal brand, and you can't fake, one can't fake oneself for quite some time. So you need to be sure what kind of content you are posting on Facebook. So just don't get into any kind of crisis. Just be what you are, and try and be as decent as we can, and I'm sure as a profession we all are there. So this is what, and this is all that I have to say. Just be what you are on social media, and don't get into controversies.
Okay. Thank you, Pradnya. Uh, okay,
Thank you,
guys, that's it
Ashwini.
for the day. And if you have any more questions, you can put it on Twitter, Sourcing Adda, or you can personally ask to Pradnya at the rate digital Preds. That is her Twitter handle. And you can also email us directly at the rates pradnya.kagade@gmail.com. So if you guys have any suggestions or you have any topic you want us to consider for the webinar, you can contact us anytime. And that is it. Thank you, Pradnya. Thank you for the great session. We'll see
Thank you,
you
Ashwini.
on next webinar. Yeah.